Well, alright guys, how are you all doing tonight? This is of course Luke back here with yet another album review. It is April 6th, 2022. Hope you're all doing well tonight, this evening. Now tonight, we're going to be reviewing some absolutely legendary grindcore with Carcass. Symphonies of Sickness. Released on November 4th of 1989 on none other than Earache Records. Now let's go ahead and get into a little bit of a biography and history of Carcass right now. The Carcass are an English grindcore band from Liverpool that was formed in 1986. The band have gone through several lineup changes, leaving guitarist Bill Steer and bassist and vocalist Jeff Walker as the only constant members. They broke up sadly in 1996 but reformed in 2007 with one of its original members, drummer Ken Owens, due to health reasons to date. The band have released 7 studio albums, 2 compilation albums, 4 EPs, 2 demo albums, 1 video album, and 6 music videos. Now, Carcass are regarded as the pioneers of the grindcore genre. Their early work was also tagged as splattering death metal and hardcore on account of their morbid lyrics and gruesome album covers. Their 4th album, Heartwork, is considered a landmark in the melodic death metal genre. Not really big of a fan of their melodic death metal shit. But Carcass were also one of the few death metal acts assigned to a major label with Columbia Records, handling North American distribution for Heartwork. While the album was distributed worldwide by Earache, who released all the band's albums up to and including Swan Song. The band's lyrics tend to focus on animal rights issues, and that also being that I've recently found out Walker and Steele and Steer are both vegetarians. Now, without further ado, guys, let's get into the review, shall we? Now, you want to talk about brutal and blistering. Well, the follow-up release, Jeff, Ken, and Bill did a great job with arranging this one. Bill's songwriting was just absolutely killer, and these contribute to the vocal aspect of the album. The songs are also pretty fast-paced and thick guitar, and it kind of sounds like B-tuning a little bit, but I'm not sure. It kind of puts that they've delved into the death metal genre rather than the grindcore that Recuperation had. The vocal trade-offs were cool as well. The whole album is like this with the trade-offs, and Bill just getting acquainted with leads, more effective leads that is, his part in Napalm Death, were those cool leads too, as well as rhythms. The band as a trio wasn't really as strong as being a 4-piece with Michael Amott on guitars, but I still thought that they did a good job with this one as a follow-up release from Recuperation. Not as many blast beats by Ken, but still was versatile. I like the atmosphere too on this album. It's really fucking dark and brutal. It kicks you right in the ass. They have a great sound on here, even releasing this in the late 80s. Definitely a killer fucking release. Probably one of the best in their entire discography, if you ask me. It's my favorite album. It's just so fucking unrelenting and brutal. And the atmosphere as well. You gotta love the fucking raw production on Carcass's shit. The leads, honestly, in my opinion, weren't the greatest, but the rhythms were fucking fantastic, out of this world. I thought everything about this release was pretty good, pretty alright. The vocals trading off were probably the best part of the whole album for me. And there were also some blast beats by Owen that were just fucking fierce. I'm sad about his fate and not being able to play drums anymore, but the trio just fits the band to a T. Felt the energy and songwriting was absolutely death-defying. They paved their way for death metal bands in the late 80s. I thought that this one was probably one of the 3 most liked Carcass releases to this date as we're talking. The other 2 being Necrotism and Heartwork, but pretty much everything that Carcass has put out over the years I've liked. Minus their melodic death metal shit. I wasn't too big of a fan of Carcass's death metal shit, man. I just don't know what it is. They just really wasn't the best, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion, though. If you like it, that's great. They were a very pivotal band in the metal arena, and this album right here is just proof that they kick major fucking ass. In fact, I want you guys to check out the track Exhumed to Consume. Let's check it out right here on the channel by Carcass. We will be right back. And we are back. You know, if that doesn't fucking kick ass, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. You know? Now, I thought that the production quality was good enough to give it a high rating and the album justice, but this release is more than 30 years old, but don't get me wrong, it never gets old. You know, it's strong. The whole approximately 45 minutes of the album, it's fucking heavy. They did good all around on this one. I wouldn't change anything about this album except probably the leads. I would take them out completely. Bill Raines' fourth on Heartwork leads as well, a swan song. I would say that Carcass's approach here was to fall under the death metal genre, with also some spikes of blast beating much more like early Napalm Death. I can hear a lot of Napalm Death inspiration. I would definitely urge newcomers to death metal to hear this. No doubt. Overall, for me, this album gets an easy 9 out of 10. It's fucking amazing. If you don't like Carcass, go check this album out. And now that's going to wrap it up here for another album review on the channel. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you'd like to follow me and Chaos on Instagram, the links to that will be down in the description as well if you want to join the server. A link to the BitChute podcast entitled Metal Hours that me and Zony are going to be working on. There should be a podcast up for you by April 15th. Go check it out. If everything goes as planned, of course, working through the busy schedule. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed this review. Leave a like, subscribe, and have yourselves a fucking good one.